teaching you shell scripting. So this will cover almost all the topics of shell scripting in the same video. So I have planned for this, and I am covering almost all the topics here. So I'll connect to my Ubuntu system. So I'm using Mac basically. Mac also I can execute lot for Linux commands. Again, Mac is like it's similar to kernel is similar to Linux, but it's a BSD based system, Berkeley system. So I'll use Ubuntu, which I am having in parallel desktop. Parallel desktop is nothing but a kind of virtual box. Okay, so let's start. So I log in. So I'm assuming that you all are having Linux command basics. Prerequisite is that only. So I have already made a video which covers Linux command. So since I have to use the different desktop for it, so that's why I'm using in VirtualBox or parallel desktop. So better way to learn Linux is to install VirtualBox. It can be Oracle VirtualBox. It can be if you are using Windows, you can install Oracle VirtualBox, and then you can download Ubuntu. I'll also give the steps in the links where you can find all those commands, all those download links, so that you can download Ubuntu image and you can start virtual machine. So let's start terminal. So again, Linux is all about terminal. Like in your company, you will be getting most of the time you will be getting access from PuTTY, where you will be having access command line access. So you'll be executing a lot of commands. So you'll be writing a scripts. So let's check the IP address. Okay, ifconfig is not there, so let's install net tools. So I assume that you are aware about normal commands. Sudo is nothing but giving privileges. Again, different Linux flavor are having different commands, so you don't have to worry about that. You have to first know the basics. If you know the basics, you can execute any system. So let's install this. Okay, it's not getting installed. This was temporary unavailable. So it's getting installed. So ifconfig command is basically in net tools package. So packages are getting installed from the internet, so you have to get the internet connectivity also working. It might be possible that internet will not work in your virtual box, so you have to do some settings for that. Ifconfig. So I'm getting the IP address now, 192.168.64.19. So now I have two choice. I can execute the commands here, or I can go back to my Mac system, or I can go back to any other system, and I can provide this IP address and connect to this system. Also, I can use PuTTY from my Windows if I'm in same network. So that's my choice again. So for that, to connect from other system, you have to install SSH, open SSH server. So these are the commands to install. Maybe this command will not work in CentOS or Red Hat. So in those flavor of Linux, yum install will work. So shell scripting is nothing but a sequence of commands, whatever you have executed, like ls minus ltr, wc minus l. So shell scripting is used when your logic is becoming too long, or logic, you have lot of logic to write. You have to count the number of lines in a file. Then you have to check whether the number of lines is increasing some limit. Then you have to do some other task. You have to delete something from file. Then you have to insert something into file. There are a lot of operations involved. Then you have to go for shell scripting. Service message start. So to give the password of Ubuntu. Okay, now I can connect from my Mac system also. 192.168.64.19. I can connect from my Mac system also. And username at the rate IP address. So like this you are connecting from your putty. So I have connected to my Ubuntu system. Now I can execute some command. Okay. So now it's my choice to connect from my this system or any Ubuntu system. Right now you can download terminal in your Android mobile, and you can connect from there also. That is also one possibility. Okay. So shell scripting is nothing but a group of commands. Echo $0 will give your current shell. Bash is the modern shell which we use. Which bash? So bin bash. Its location is in bin directory. Now, for example, ls minus ltr command, and you have to find the number of files and directories in the current directory basically. So you will type this 11. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Basically it is counting this also, this line also. So we'll just consider one less from that. So if we have to use this in shell scripting, then see, we can do shell scripting at this terminal, or also echo hello world. This is nothing but shell scripting. But I have written only one line. But if I have multiple lines, obviously logic, then I have to do that in a file. So let's say I have got one assignment, like I have to count the number of files in a directory, in a folder, number of subdirectories, and then if the directory number exceeds 10, then I have to do something else. I have to echo. So let's say var equal to something. I have to store that variable, right? If I am counting the number of directories, ls minus ltr wc minus l. So actually it's 10, because it is counting that total 48 also. So I have to store that somewhere. Then only I can compare, right? So let's say num equal to echo dollar num. Okay. Basically you have to use backticks to execute. So num is again 11 here. Let's say it's 10. Basically the exact num is so syntax is little bit complex. So 10. Okay, so this is exact number. Now I have to check whether this exact num is greater than 10 or less than 10. Then I have to do something like if $exact num. So we use this kind of operator in shell scripting LT rather than equal equal to. So when you have to compare a string, you can use equal equal to, or if you have to compare integers, you have to use less, like this, less than 10, then echo. There are number of files and folders are less than 10 in current dir, and then end the script. So like this, if we have to write everything here. Yes, then let's say check for true condition. So we are getting this print, right? Number of files and folders are less than 12 because this condition is succeeded. But how does it look like here? It looks like it doesn't look good to write all the number of lines here. So that's why there is a concept of shell scripting. Shell scripting nothing but interpreted language. It doesn't need a compiler. It directly executes. So your interpreter is basically bash. For example, Python is an interpreter. So which Python? There is no Python here, so I am not install. I can install using install Python. Basically, I wanted to show you the Python interpreter path. So C, C++ are compiled language. We have to first compile it and then run the binary. Okay, so which Python? Python is installed in user bin, and generally your commands which ls. This is nothing but it is written in C, and it is compiled, and it is the binary is put in bin ls, so you cannot see that because that is compiled language. See that garbage value, cat user bin. Python is an interpreter written in C, so this is also a binary, basically interpreter. So we are not able to see because those are compiled and which is copied to this directory as a command. So next step is to open a file. So I assume that you are having basic of opening a file and writing a normal shell script. So we give .sh so that we can identify that this is shell script. Okay, vim is not there. Let's install that also. Okay, so it is installed. So let's start doing this.sh. So first line will be interpreter line. So we have to give the path of, this is also called shebang, hash exclamation bin bash. So we are telling this file that Python bash interpreter is located in this directory, and then please execute this script as a bash script. Don't execute this script as a Python script. So we are telling the system. So here we can say first go hello world. So whatever we were doing on the command line. So let's check now, execute it. Either you can execute it using bash, because generally we you execute Python as test, something like test.py, but I have not written test.py here yet. So you can execute, so hello world. Now another way is to execute is /test.sh, but permission is not there. So again I assume you are having permission, providing permission using chmod basics. So So now you can see that it's in green because I have provided the permission. So I can execute it using this test.sh. So I will just remove this line. So then also it is executing because it's a Linux system and it's knowing that this is my shell script. But let's say I write a Python script. Python script also you have to give this all interpreter language, you have to follow this, whether it's Perl, Python or shell script. And then print hello world. I am doing this comparison in order so that you understand the basic of interpreter first, and then you move to shell scripting. Okay, then let's say I have given python test.py. It's in hello world. Then let's execute it directly. Permission denied. Test.py. Test.py. Hello world. But let's delete this line now. So now it's throwing error because the system is not able to understand whether I have to execute it using Python interpreter or shell. Because here file name extension doesn't matter actually. .py and .sh is for our readability. When we see the file, we should be able to understand it's a shell script or Python script. So let's okay, we have to provide this in first line. First line itself should be okay. So interpreter line should be in the first line. That is another observation. Okay. So now go back to our shell script. So now echo hello world. Now we have to count the number of lines in a particular directory. Number of files equal to backticks. Use this backticks that is below escape button key. ls minus ltr home. In this particular directory we have to count the number of files. Echo. So now we can write number of lines. Number of files are $num files. Okay. The number of files are 13. Okay. So you have to subtract one basically from exact files equal to dollar num files minus 1. So this is syntax to decrease this. You have to anyways, that will come by practice. Exact files, number of files are 12 exactly. Okay. So present working directory is nothing but home parallels. Now we have to check whether, so we use if and else for that. So you should be having some programming basics here, otherwise it will be difficult to understand. Basically bin bash, it's always safer to give even if it is not required. Now argument to this program, so argument to this program go, arguments are $1 and $2. So $1 and $2 is nothing but argument to this program. Tested.sh. Hey, hi. So argument to this program are hey and hi. That is $1 and $2. $3. So why? So $3 we are not printing. Let's print that also. $3. All are getting printed. You can also, because these are called positional parameter, all args are $. So number of arguments are $hash. So these are called keywords which are used for storing all the arguments and number of arguments. Number of arguments are 3, you can see in the last line. Okay. Then let's say we have to find the sum of three numbers. So sum equal to, so let's say store in num1 equal to $1, num2 equal to $2, num3 equal to $3. Sum will be equal to 2 plus $num3. Okay, so we have to give numbers here, otherwise it will show 0. So 2, 3, 5 plus 4 is 9. Okay, we are doing nothing but writing a shell script, writing some logic. Now we can say, okay, if you have to compare, if sum is less than, if sum is less than 10, let's print something. Let's print something. Echo sum is less than 10. Sum is less than 10 is getting printed here. Or if we have to apply if else, now you should be having some programming basics here. So sum is greater than 10. So your error. So you have to sum is greater than 10. Now let's go back to our topics. So normal read from terminal, yeah. So we have to take the input from terminal, positional parameters. So let's say we have to take the input from terminal and then we have to print something, because till now we have taken the input from argument. Let's say take one input from input, enter a number to subtract from final sum. So read decrement number. Then what we'll do, we'll increment from final sum equal to sum minus then we'll say final sum is $sum. Enter the number. Let's say I will enter 668. So 3 numbers 6, 6, 12, 20, and let's say I am decrementing 5. So final sum, so 5 is decremented from 20. So I have taken input from keyboard. Okay, let's say 10. So now final sum is 10, 10 is getting decremented. Okay, So that's how you read the input from. So I'll just give some comment. Read comment line starts from hash. Again hash first line hash exclamatory, that is different. Again that this line will not be considered as comment line because this is the first line, and shell script will search for hash and exclamatory and then the path of your interpreter. But another line, if you start from hash, it will be considered as hash line, comment line. From command line. Store all the command arguments. Okay, even ls command has arguments, right? This is argument to ls command. So like this is also a command. Shell script is nothing but a command. If I'll put in bin directory, that will become a command. So let's go to another topic according to our PDF. Shell scripting, done all those. So some also we have done. Okay, EQ is for equal, LT is for less than. So now again let's say if sum equal to 20, then echo final sum equals 20. Echo. Obviously this will come by practice. Final sum is not equal to 20. So if else 5, you have to end if with 5. So if you are writing any if statement, something like this, if and then some condition, then and then echo something, then here 5. So this is end of it. Okay, so sum equal to, let's give something like so final sum equals 20. So EQ is for equal, LT is for less than, GE is for greater than or equal to. So these are the operators in shell script. Now we have to check whether particular value is empty or not. Let's say num4 equal to fourth argument $4. So I have to check whether that number is not empty, $num, then echo num4 is empty. Please provide some value. Provide some register value. Okay. Else again sum equal to dollar sum plus dollar num4 echo final sum is dollar sum so num4 is empty, so we are not giving any fourth argument here. So again 10, so we have given 8 here, so 8 is added, we have given 8 here, so 8 is added to the final sum. See once again our logic, added 4 here. num4, or I am taking this is empty or not. So minus z is to check whether whether a variable is empty or not. Now see our next value. We check whether particular value is present or file or not. So let's say file sample.txt. Hello, how are you? So let's say I am checking some value in the say is a string present or not in file. Cat sample.txt grep I hello backticks, and then don't give any space here, otherwise it will throw error. Here also no space. Okay, so print so again you have to inject dollar is a string, then echo no string hello found in file, else echo string hello found. Okay. Let's execute this. A string hello found in the file. Line 61, too many arguments. What's that kind of warning? Let's, because this result will contain multiple words. So now string hello found. So let's try that from our command line. So is a string. So our string will be $5. If I string hello found, let's say XYZ, no string hello, no string found. So that's like print message no string $string. Okay, so no string XYZ found in the file. Now let's move to the looping constructs like for loop and while loop. So the basic concept is while and then condition, while $I less than 10 do echo I is $I, and then done. So this is the basic syntax, while condition and then do and ended by done. let's give some value to I equal to 10, and then decrement I every time in the loop. I dollar I minus 1. I greater than 0. So it is decrementing every time, so it is checking the condition while I greater than 0. So I is 10, 9, 8, 7, so still is greater than 0. Then I is 1. Okay, that is also fine, it is greater than 0. But moment it becomes 0, it coming out of the loop because this condition is becoming false. Till this condition becomes true, it will be there. So we can also write something like this: while true, do echo hello done. So this condition will be always true, so this will go in infinite loop. See, infinite loop, because the condition is always true. Let's remove this and then move to for loop. So for loop says that for variable in 0 1 2 3 4 do echo $var done. Okay, so it will, so every time this loop will execute, first control will be at 0, this will be stored in var, and this var will be printed. Then the control will come at 1 and this var will be printed control. So the here some sequence of number is expected in the for loop. This var is my variable, you can take xyz also. So this will be stored in xyz, xyz. So this will be used when you want to find sum of all arrays, or you have to do something like, for example, you have to process all the files, like for file in, so the simple use case for file in, let's say ls home parallels. So this will contain a list, let's say file type of that file dollar file. So it is showing so file. So what I am doing, ls and then file of desktop is a directory, file of test.py. So file command does nothing but it provides you the type of file. Okay, so I am doing loop wise, I am doing in sequence, I am applying every time this loop will execute, this will display the file. So echo file is dollar file, so for more transparency. So file is sample.txt and file type is this, file is templates and file type is this. So simple concept is, at this place some sequence or list should be there. So again in backticks we are executing the command for file in ls and we are applying to each file. So this loop will execute the number of times then equal to the number of files in this directory. Okay, or if you have to find the sum of all the numbers, so for number in, let's say 0 1 2 3 4 5 do, Sum is already there, so let's use sum as sim. Let's initialize sum with 0. And then echo for loop sum is $sm. Okay. For loop sum is sum is, let's check the value in the loop, so little bit of debugging. So there is some like some plus number. Let's remove this also. Okay, so now okay, there like shell script syntax can vary from system to system, doesn't matter. $sum plus dollar for loop sum is 15. Okay, now we have while loop covered, for loop covered, until condition, until loop, so until I greater than 6. So basically I equal to 1 until $I greater than, so until that condition becomes true it will run, until do so I equal to $I plus 1 echo I is $I done. So until I becomes greater than 6 it will run. So this is space sensitive shell script, so you have to take care. I is 2 3 4 5 6 7. Okay, so it's just a simple literal meaning, like until I greater than 6 execute the following condition. And then we have switch case statements. So switch case statements is like multiple if and else. So let's read some input. Let's echo start of switch case statement. So it's like a multiple if else. Read enter a input. Read input. To do something like case dollar input in. Now case dollar input in what? It can be anything, like any string, like add. Then you have to say okay, I equal to again dollar I plus 10. You are adding something. Echo I after add is dollar I. Then it is ended by this. Then sub I equal to dollar I minus 10. Echo I after subtraction is dollar I. So you have to little bit, you have to practice the syntax here. Then you have to also take care of default condition. Echo no input matches. Then opposite of case is ESAC. So like 5 ends with, if ends with 5, so case ends with ESAC. So let's run it once again. Enter a input in switch. So add. So I after addition is 17 because I was something like 7 here. So I am adding 10. Subtract. I after subtract is minus 3. 7 minus 10 is minus 3. Enter a input. Multiply. So no input matches. So you can clearly see here. I'll give this program in the comment section. So this is your shell scripting. Now you can execute this shell script as your normal command bash, something like this. Enter input, one no input matches, or you can input in like this 1 2 3 4. Enter something like this. Enter input, add. Okay. Or you can also copy this test.sh to bin to make it a command. So just sudo is for giving extra privilege, It will ask for your current password. Who am I am parallels users. To go to root user, you have to type sudo su root. So I am in root now, so I can now I can directly execute this test.sh. See, directly I'm a input add i17. Okay, test.sh 10 10 10, and then the fourth was no input matches. Okay, again to exit to normal user I can type exit. So this is your shell scripting. So guys, just like this video, share with your friends, and you can comment if you have any query. I'll make videos on those topics. If you have doubt in this, you can comment. I will just give answer to your the, because in this is video, so maybe some small topics might be missing, but yeah, obviously I will try to cover those all topics in another video, because I am making videos on all the topics separately. Even you are having Linux, you are having some 200 pages of book on a single Linux command, so it's a very vast subject, but whatever I am providing in videos are basic, so you can start. I try to learn as many as go to websites, learn something new daily on daily basis. You'll get to know all the practice. So thanks friend, thanks for watching.